in effect.
These folks work extremely hard in a very, very physical job and frankly a very dangerous job.
Staff shortages lead to interim changes for solid waste collection in Irving. See some of the ways the city is spreading the word. Party time!
I flew in for this event and it's been spectacular.
Live music, the best food, and more. Find out why the Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau rolled out the red carpet for this group. Pups with purpose.
He's always with me. He keeps an eye on me all the time.
See the fun ceremonies celebrating Service Dog Month. And how some DART passengers can get a free smartphone. Now on City Source. The Irving Fire Department is sharing important information about the smoke detectors at your home or apartment. Hello and welcome to City Source. I'm Thomas Gandy. The reasons why it may be time for a replacement coming up. But first, interim changes to Irving's solid waste collection are in effect as of October 1st. The biggest change is that trash, recycling, as well as brush and bulky waste will be collected once a week on the same day. All trash must be in bags. Through print, video, digital, and more, the City of Irving is using all of its communication methods to inform residents of the updates. Here is one example. Solid Waste Services Director Travis Schweitzer spoke at the most recent Neighborhood Roundtable at City Hall. Leaders of neighborhood associations learned the information that they can then share with their respective groups. The reason behind the changes to waste collection is a staffing shortage. To help remedy that, the city has already provided pay increases for those positions, but that has not made enough of a difference.
Great job going through this. So to help you and get more drivers, can you share with the group, I think I know the answer, but I'd like you to share with the group what they're currently paid per hour.
I can tell you the bottom end of that pay scale is over $20 an hour. It tops out just shy of $30. So that's where they're being paid. That's very competitive.
It took more than 60 full-time employees to carry out the previous collection method. This interim model requires 47 full-time employees.
And we have 48 on average every given day. So we're just barely there. We still need to hire folks. And guys, I'll caution everybody here. This model only works so long as we are able to maintain or attract more individuals to come work and do this job. If we fall below this 47 number, we are right back to where we are today, not being able to perform all of our collections.
There is a lot more to know about the plan. Find more information along with an interactive map that will show your collection day at cityofirving.org/interim SWS. Also, look for a special pullout section in the October edition of City Spectrum. That's mailed to all Irving households. To help people adjust to the changes, here is something else new worth knowing. The Hunter Farrell landfill is offering free drop-off of the items you see listed on your screen Monday through Saturday from 7:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. All items must be free of contaminants, and note that construction and demolition debris are excluded from free drop-off. The Irving City Council passed a budget for the new fiscal year that started October 1st, and that budget includes a half-cent reduction in the tax rate. The general fund, which is the main operating fund for the city, is a little more than $261 million. That pays for public safety, parks, libraries, and much more. It is funded by property and sales tax collections. Learn more at cityofirving.org/budget. The visitor industry is on the road to rebound in Irving post-COVID. Pre-COVID numbers showed direct visitor spending in the billions. That's why the Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau works hard to bring groups to the city. When members of one influential group visited Irving, the CVB threw an epic party, and we scored an invite. It's a welcome fit for celebrities.
It was awesome. I signed 3 autographs.
And the guest list is super exclusive. Yeah, I think this is the party that everyone wants an invitation to.
Absolutely.
The Irving Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau is hosting members of the Texas Society of Association Executives.
This group is really important to us. So about half of the attendees represent associations based here in Texas.
I'm with Texas Energy Managers. We're from the Texas Library Association.
All of them have annual meetings, board meetings, things like that will come to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, usually every 3 to 5 years.
I'm here with Restaurant Facility Management Association.
We want to make sure Irving stays on their radar.
We do a big annual conference every year, about 8,000 teachers.
Building a potential client list means providing the A-list treatment.
So it is very, very competitive. So tonight, we really get to show what Irving has to offer.
This convention center party moves upstairs for live music.
We got so many great musical assets now in the city, and we want to showcase those things and give people really just a whole different view of Irving.
This group last visited Irving a decade ago, right after the convention center opened.
And we spent a lot of our time talking about what was to come.
Since then, the Toyota Music Factory and new hotels debuted, all within walking distance of the convention center.
All of the brand new stuff around here, they built it up and it's really impressive.
It's a huge opportunity to showcase at an event like this in our city.
Another focus is food.
Everything's been delicious.
And drink.
We haven't gotten this to the bar yet, but we're on our way.
There is the real stuff and some unusual vapor mocktails.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
Everything is spread out so people can see a lot of the convention center.
You see the branding everywhere to show them the ways they can showcase the building, to show them the different ways to set up spaces so that they can start imagining their events here in Irving.
This party is going to continue into the night, and the real work begins later with follow-ups and sales calls as the Convention and Visitors Bureau works to light a big spark of interest in Irving. In just a few minutes, see an event that drew an international athletic crowd to Irving. It brought big dollars to the winner and the city. A warm start to autumn means a lot of people are still watering their lawns. Here is a reminder about the city's watering restrictions. If your address ends in an odd number, irrigation is allowed on Sundays and Wednesdays. If your address ends in an even number, Tuesdays and Saturdays are your days to water. Irrigation is not allowed between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. on any day. That's when evaporation rates are highest. Those time of day restrictions continue through October 31st. More details are at cityofirving.org/waterutilities. Daylight saving time ends on November 6th, and we have all heard the expression, change your clock, change your battery. Firefighters everywhere share that message as a reminder to maintain the smoke detectors in your home or apartment. But there is more to know. Irving firefighter and public information officer Anthony Kennedy is here to talk more about this. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. And let's talk about why this is important. Have there been cases in Irving where working smoke detectors would have made a difference?
On a very regular basis. It's one of the first things we look for when we get any kind of automatic alarm call or structure fire call. We're listening for alarms. It's one of the first things we can notice.
As I mentioned at the beginning, we know it's recommended to change batteries twice a year. But this next part was eye-opening to me. Firefighters recommend a total replacement of your detectors every 10 years. Why is that?
Yes, it's because as they age, they might not detect as well as they are meant to or designed to. So you want to make sure to keep them changed regularly every 10 years.
Every 10 years, I have some work to do. And when you go to the store, there are different types of detectors. So what do you need to look for when shopping?
The first thing to know is whether your system's integrated or not. Some are standalone, and so they just mount to your ceiling wherever it's most convenient. Others are wired to like an alarm panel that you have in your house. And so it's important to know whether it'll integrate well with your system or not. Outside of that, there are different types that you can purchase from the store.
And if you are installing them for the first time, how do you know how many you need and where they should go?
So you want to look for high points in your house. You want to keep them near the ceiling and then outside of bedrooms so that if they start to alert or go off, then you can hear them easily from the bedroom.
And let's also talk about carbon monoxide detectors. Who should have those in their home?
So if you have any kind of gas appliances, it's important to have carbon monoxide detectors because you won't smell it. So it's important to have those in your house.
Now, do those also require testing?
Yes, you want to test them regularly.
All right, important information to know year-round. Anthony Kennedy from the Irving Fire Department, thanks for sharing it with us.
All right, thanks for having me.
And the Irving Fire Department has more safety tips online at ifdsafety.com. That's also where you can learn about free safety classes the department offers to groups. In other public safety news, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. The Irving Police Department Family Advocacy Center is once again shining a light on this issue by hosting Illuminate Irving. This is video from last year, and again this time, reps from several community organizations will be there to explain how they can help victims and survivors. In addition, there will be impactful speakers and an emotional lantern ceremony.
So the lantern ceremony, we got the idea from Japanese culture. They do a Toro Nagashi, which is something that they do to honor individuals who have suffered an atrocity. And we met with some individuals in our community from that culture just to make sure that what we did was still honoring that culture and that tradition. And they are very honored that we're using this type of ceremony for victims and survivors of domestic violence. Essentially what individuals do is we've got water lanterns that they can come and individualize and personalize.
Illuminate Irving is on Tuesday, October 18th at 6:30 p.m. at Millennium Park. That's the one with the fountain across from City Hall. Parking is available at the South Irving Library. Now to news of another event. Irving hosted a first-time international triathlon at Levy Event Plaza, and $1 million in prize money was at stake. Robert Sheik covered the action.
American Taylor Knibb won a silver medal representing the United States at last year's Tokyo Olympics.
Taylor Knibb from the United States.
She arrives in Irving, excited to again battle world-class competition.
This weekend's been absolutely amazing. To be able to do it at home with this kind of race and people here, it's just really special.
Knibb is one of the top contenders in the Professional Triathletes Organization, a new governing body elevating the sport of triathlon at the professional level.
They're building a series of world championships, not unlike what you see in golf and tennis, the majors, and Irving is the home of the U.S. major.
The inaugural PTO U.S. Open showcased Irving to the world of triathlon, complete with an international broadcast on the television network Eurosport, and a $1 million prize purse at stake. The Dallas Sports Commission estimates this year's event generated $8 million in direct economic impact for Irving. And this could continue to be a huge win for the Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau.
It tells the story around the world, shows off these beautiful assets the city has, but it brings these people here.
Organizers created a scenic, made-for-TV course in and around Lake Caroline that drew rave reviews from competitors, including the champion of the women's event, Australian Ashley Gentle.
I really enjoyed it. The run was quite nice too because we kind of waved around the lake and then we went over a couple of floating bridges. It kind of had everything.
From Australia, Ashley Gentle.
For Knibb, the opportunity to compete against the world's best on her home soil is something she looks forward to doing on an annual basis, right here in Irving.
Hopefully the race will be back here for a few more years, if not many more, and thank you to the city of Irving for hosting us. You guys have been absolutely amazing.
Robert Sheik for City Source.
Here is another event for the athletes and their four-legged friends. The second annual Paz Colinas 5K9 is coming up on October 22nd, starting at the Paz Colinas Dog Park. You can see in this video from last year, it turned out to be a lot of fun as people ran the Campion Trail with their pets. This year, it benefits the DFW Humane Society. The Las Colinas Association and the Irving Marathon team up to host this event. Register at PazColinas5K9.com. The national nonprofit Canine Companions trains service dogs and matches them with people and organizations that need the help of a dog. Irving is home to one of only 6 training centers for Canine Companions, so it's the perfect place to mark this special occasion.
We're celebrating Service Dog Month, so this is a really stone event for us.
I think I have a proclamation here. This guy.
Well, it's fun to do these different things, and really, this is such a great cause.
This is Grayson. These guys are trained for mobility task work, so they learn how to pick items up off the floor, they can tug doors open, they can do a lot of different stuff using those commands. All of the fun stuff that they really do is kind of helpful to those people who might be limited with their mobility.
In 2014, I was injured in an ATV accident. I don't have to worry about things like if I drop something, he's there to pick things up. Actually, he saves me really a lot of time and energy. You don't understand how how much, because everything takes so much longer when you're sitting in a chair trying to get the thing. He's going to have something to say. Patrick, speak.
A testimony like we had today and find out how it's really changed their lives and made such a big difference to them. Those things it's heartwarming.
This is Service Dog Month, and Patrick is exactly why we're doing this. I'm always proud of Irving. It was a perfect placement. It gave Canine Companions a mid-country destination. People were having to go to Florida, or they were having to go to New York, or they were having to go to California, and so it gave us a mid-country presence.
I'm very fortunate to be this close, because people have to drive from Austin or wherever. This is right in my backyard. You can tell me take off my jackets.
You have, donors, volunteers, all the puppy raisers. It's crazy seeing them go from a crazy 8-week-old puppy to a fully trained service dog. They now have this dog that they can go out into the world, and they have the confidence to really put themselves out there.
He's always with me, and he keeps an eye on me all the time.
Healthier, independent lives, that's the joy of Canine Companions.
Yeah, that's always a great place to visit, and you can catch up with our earlier stories from there by checking out our Canine Companions playlist at youtube.com/The City of Irving. DART is teaming up with Assurance Wireless to offer a free cell phone and service to eligible DART riders who are enrolled in a qualifying federal or state assistance program. Those programs include Medicaid, SNAP, and WIC. The phones can make it possible for riders to access DART's GoPass app. Learn more at dart.org/free smartphone or attend an in-person event at the downtown Irving Heritage Crossing Station. That's on Thursday, November 10th from 3:30 until 6:30 p.m. People are asked to bring current documentation showing enrollment of one of the qualifying programs. Over the summer, a lot of families discovered the fun of laying out a blanket or setting up a lawn chair and watching movies on the new big screen in Heritage Park. With the start of autumn, the Parks Department is kicking off a new free movie series. It's called Movies on Main. Friday, October 7th, it's The Addams Family 2. The following Friday is Black Panther. October 21st is Cruella. And then on October 28th, it's a favorite of some of my coworkers, Hocus Pocus. All movies start at 7 p.m. And here is another event a lot of people look forward to. The City of Irving Parks and Rec team will once again transform Trinity View Park into Erie Irving Park. The event will feature plenty of carnival games, photo ops, and other spooky attractions. Of course, it's best to come out in costume. Erie Irving Park is Saturday, October 22nd, starting at 6 p.m. Watch for more info coming to irvingevents.org. In recent weeks, we've been talking a lot about big dogs for our pets of the week, but what do we have this time around? Let's check in with Michael Whiteside with the DFW Humane Society. He's at the Irving Animal Care Campus. Hey, Michael.
Hey, how are you doing, Thomas?
Doing great. And let's talk about these big dogs and what makes them unique.
So the two we're going to talk about today are kind of big, but they're stout and short big. So they are in our big dog kennels. The first one is Bella Beau. She is a Catahoula pit bull mix, and she's just got the most beautiful coloring, the most beautiful face, and she's really one of the sweetest dogs that we have right now. She loves playing with her toys. She loves people. She wasn't owner surrender because they said she didn't get along with their other dogs, but they also said that she didn't get along with female dogs. So it's possible she would do okay with a male dog, but her personality and her love of people kind of just outweighs all of that other stuff because she's just a lot of fun to be around.
So hopefully people will see that loving side. And let's talk next about Max.
Yeah, so Max is one of our puppies that we have right now. He's a shepherd mix puppy, and he's kind of unique in that his ears are still at that point where one will flop down and the other will stand up. And he's another one. He's great with other dogs. He loves his toys, but he really enjoys playing in the yards with a couple of his friends like Celery and Penny, who we talked about last time. Those are two of his buddies that he hangs out in the yard with. I mean, he has a puppy, so he's going to definitely need someone that knows how to work with puppies and how to, get them their manners and get them their obedience. But he's going to make a great pet for anyone.
Yeah, we've talked a lot, as I mentioned, about these big dogs. There's a special coming up in October, and I'm afraid to say the name because we're both fans of 90s music, and one of us might break out in the song. So go ahead, tell us the name.
So coming up in October is Adopt a Shelter Dog Month. And so for the entire month of October, we're going to be celebrating with our special Pumpkin Spice Up Your Life, which will be all dogs 40 pounds and larger will be free to adopt all month long starting October 1st. And we have plenty of dogs that fit that bill right now. So you definitely want to come out and meet some of those great pets that will definitely spice up your life a bit.
Spicing up your life. It can't beat free. Thanks so much, Michael Whiteside with the DFW Humane Society.
Thanks.
The Animal Care Campus is located at 4140 Valley View Lane. Check out the websites you see on your screen for hours and to see more adoptable animals. Short-term rentals are the focus of a new registration program now in effect. On the next City Source, we get answers to some of the most common questions about it. And some visitors to Irving got a special look at unique attractions. See the reasons behind this fun, those stories, and much more next time on City Source. And remember, you can always email us your thoughts on our stories. The address is ictid@cityofirving.org. Also, find us on YouTube. Our channel is at youtube.com/thecityofirving. And while you're there, keep in mind that we always appreciate the likes and your positive comments. And you can look for updates on events and initiatives across the major social media platforms at the City of Irving. And that's it for this edition of City Source. Thanks for watching, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time.